You will hear two extracts about climate-related displacement. In the first extract, a woman contacts a climate relocation support agency. In the second, two university students discuss climate migration policies. You now have some time to read questions 1 to 7 before you listen. A woman calls a climate relocation support agency after moving due to environmental changes.
Good afternoon. This is the Climate Relief Support Centre. How can I assist you today?
Hi, I'm calling about assistance for people who've been displaced because of environmental conditions. My name is Jasmine Okoro, and I arrived here with my family about 2 weeks ago.
Welcome, Ms. Okoro. May I ask where you're originally from?
We lived on a small island community in the South Pacific, just a short distance from the coast of Fiji. For several years, conditions kept getting worse. We experienced coastal erosion, saltwater intrusion, and increasingly frequent flooding. Eventually, we had no choice but to leave.
So your family relocated because the environmental conditions became too dangerous?
Yes, the storms themselves weren't always severe, but the flooding became more frequent every year. In the end, our home became uninhabitable.
That must have been extremely difficult. Are you travelling alone?
No, I came with my 2 children. They're both under the age of 10.
Thank you. That's useful to know. As part of our emergency support program, we can offer transitional accommodation. Depending on family size and availability, housing may be provided for up to 6 months.
That's wonderful news. It gives us some time to settle and decide what to do next.
Now, two university students discuss ideas from a seminar on climate migration.
I still can't stop thinking about what the speaker said about responsibility sharing. It seems unfair that countries contributing the most to climate change are often doing the least to support people displaced by it.
I agree. The whole idea of climate justice really made me think. If industrialized nations accepted greater responsibility for climate-induced migration, there would probably be a fairer international system.
Exactly. But it's not only about welcoming displaced people. Sometimes I think financial support should be directed towards the communities that are most affected. Investing in local adaptation projects may be more effective than simply providing temporary accommodation overseas.
That's an interesting point. Although, wouldn't that require changing the legal definition of a refugee? Traditionally, refugee status only applies to people escaping war or persecution.
That's exactly the problem. People forced to move because of droughts or rising sea levels fall into a legal grey area. They often don't receive the same protection.
The seminar explained that really well. The current international system was designed decades ago and doesn't fully recognise environmental causes of displacement.
Another issue is education. Food and shelter are obviously essential, but children also need access to good schools. Without education, they have far fewer opportunities in the future.
Absolutely. Long-term success depends on much more than survival. Education allows displaced children to rebuild their lives.
That is the end of Part 1. Now, you have 30 seconds to check your answers. You will hear part of a seminar about planning a climate-resilient relocation site. First, you have some time to look at questions 8 to 11. Now listen carefully and answer questions 8 to 11.
Good morning, everyone. Today's seminar focuses on one of the most challenging issues in climate adaptation: how communities can be relocated safely and successfully when environmental conditions make their original homes impossible to live in. Relocation is often misunderstood as simply moving people from one place to another. In reality, it is a carefully planned process that should protect people's safety while also preserving livelihoods, community relationships, and cultural identity. The process begins with a detailed risk assessment. Specialists examine future flood levels, soil stability, freshwater supplies, and transport routes before selecting a suitable location. A place that appears safe today may become vulnerable in the future, so planners must consider long-term environmental conditions. Once a suitable site has been identified, the next step is community consultation. Residents should be involved in decisions about housing, employment, education, and cultural priorities. People who have lived in an area for generations often understand local needs better than outside planners. Following consultation, authorities should create a livelihood support program. Building homes alone is not enough. Families also need opportunities to earn an income through farming, fishing, small businesses, or vocational training. Essential services must be established before residents arrive. Clean water is the highest priority, closely followed by sanitation. Health clinics and schools should also be operating from the beginning to prevent unnecessary disruption to daily life. Finally, relocation should not end once people move into their new homes. Governments should continue monitoring employment, education, health and community well-being for several years after relocation to ensure that the program has been successful.
Now you have some time to check your answers to questions 8 to 11. Now look at questions 12 to 15. Now listen and answer the questions 12 to 15.
As you listen to the rest of the seminar, label the plan of the proposed relocation site. The diagram in your booklet shows a proposed settlement viewed from above. The main entrance is located on the southern side of the site. A road leads directly north before dividing into two branches. Immediately to the west of the entrance is the community centre. This building will be used for public meetings, cultural activities and training programs. On the opposite side of the entrance road in the southeastern corner, planners have placed the health clinic. Its position allows emergency vehicles to reach it quickly without passing through the residential areas. Further north, the road divides. The eastern branch leads to the school, which is located in the northeastern section of the settlement. The market and employment zone occupies the northwestern section, allowing residents easy access to shops, workshops, and employment services. At the centre of the settlement there is an open public space surrounded by residential areas. Along the northern boundary, a drainage channel carries rainwater away from the site. The aim of this design is not only to organise buildings efficiently, but also to create a community where people can rebuild their lives safely while maintaining strong social connections.
That is the end of part 2. Now, you have some time to check your answers.